YouTube? What's going on? Woody P coming back with another one. Let's get it. You know I gotta keep the fire coming. Let's keep it rolling. Today I want to do a reaction to the big news that just passed in Cali on the West Coast. Yeah, it's just when you thought California and the United States couldn't hit a new low, we find a way to hit a new low. Out on the West Coast of California, they just passed a bill 957, basically the gender acceptance bill. Yes, they're trying to control the kids. So basically what the gender acceptance bill is, if two parents are in a custody battle for their child, the child can say, hey, I know I was born a male, but I'm actually a female. Or vice versa, the child could be born female and say, hey, I'm actually a male. Yes, the gender acceptance bill, it just passed on Friday. Lori Wilson, she's part of the California Assembly. She's the ringleader in this. She has a transgender child. She does. And she's the ringleader in this. And I want to give you some context from the Examiner, Washington Examiner. California Assembly passes bill adding gender acceptance to list of considerations in determining child custody. Yeah, they want to. This one I thought we couldn't hit a new low. We find a way. The California Assembly has passed a bill that, if signed, will add gender identity acceptance to the list of considerations for determining child custody. Yeah, they want kids to determine their gender. Your gender is determined when you're born. Simple as that. Assembly Bill 957 passed 57-16 on Friday. It now heads to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk. If it becomes law, it will require judges to consider a parent's opinion of their child's gender identity in custody cases. Yes. And they go a little more in depth. I want you to hear this guy break it down. He goes into a little more in depth about what their goal is and what they're really trying to do and when this will come into play. And like I said, it will come into play when two parents are, going through the child custody thing. So that's when it really comes into play. But hear my guy out. They go into a little more detail, a little more depth.
Law isn't relevant unless there's a child custody dispute. But in that instance, in California, the court is almost kind of being pressured by this law to sign, to take into account and to side with the parent who says, yes, my son believes he's a girl, my daughter believes she's my son.
AB 957 was passed in the state assembly on May 3rd and amended on June 6th.
So he went into a little more depth. Like I say, it comes into play when there's a custody battle for a child. That child can make a decision, if they're girl, boy, whatever they want to be. This is crazy. Just when I thought we couldn't hit a new low, we find a way. Current California law requires the court, for purposes of deciding custody, to determine the best interest of the child based on certain factors, including, among other things, the health, safety, and welfare of the child. And Lori Wilson, like I said, she has a transgender child, and she was the ringleader, and I want you to hear what she had to say. Gotta bring the context full circle. So I want you to hear what she had to say, because I threw her in the thumbnail because she's part of the California Assembly, and you definitely have to hear her side of her part, where she's coming from.
That they are not the same gender as they are biologically, then it should be affirmed, and through care, it should be determined. And that's what we did with our own child.
Critics of the bill, like Republican Assemblymember Bill Asili, say the factor of a child's gender identity should be handled by the parents, and what they believe is
this particular bill adds the very important factor that affirming a child's gender identity is in their best interest.
You hear what she has to say. The bill, entitled the Transgender, Gender Diverse, and Intersex Youth Empowerment Act, was introduced by Democratic Assemblywoman Lori D. Wilson on February 24th and amended in the Assembly on March 13th. and in the Senate on June 5th. It passed the Assembly again on Friday after the members' approval of technical charges. Wilson clarified on Friday during the session that though the bill's title references transgender, gender diverse, and intersex youth, the words are not mentioned in the bill. What's mentioned in the law is the child's gender identity and expression and the parent's affirmation of that, whatever it is, Wilson said, because that is our duty as parents to affirm our children. Yeah, see, like I said, just when you thought we can't hit a new low, we find a way. We find a way. See, they go for the children and the kids because you can control their mind. And that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Whenever they try to come up with these new bills, these new laws, and enforce them, they always start with the youth. They always start with the youth because that's where everything begins. That's where everything begins. It does. But this is crazy. Like I said, just when I thought California can hit a new low, with the crazy ass tax laws they got, and just the US in general, we find a way. We find a way. This won't come into play unless there's a custody battle, but come on, there's always custody battles. And you see why people are always fleeing Cali, like, time to flee Cali, we out. It's always some dumb shit going on in California nowadays when you hear about Cali, but this is where we at. This is where we at. And I definitely want to do a reaction to this and bring some awareness to this because this is crazy. This is crazy. I came across this article this morning, so I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do a reaction to this. But let me know what y'all think. Drop something down in the comments. Keep the fire coming. Keep it rolling. Comment, like, subscribe us so we can help and share the video. We're gonna knock another one out. Let's get it.